The Millionaire Lifestyle of Don Cheadle. This is the millionaire life of Don Cheadle. Don Frank Cheadle Jr. is an American film and television actor quite popular for his breathtaking talent and appearances in Marvel's Avengers as Colonel James Rhodes. Since his role is in one of the biggest and most popular franchises, you must wonder about his net worth and what the real life of the famous Rhodey is like. Well, you'll find out in a moment, but before the wealth came, Don Cheadle was just an average human with a love for the arts. Talking about love, one interesting thing about Don Cheadle is his long-lasting relationship with Bridget Coulter. If you are wondering how that is interesting, consider the celebrity breakup rates. You will need no explanation. Their relationship is one of the longest lasting in Hollywood, lasting nearly 3 decades before they finally decided to tie the knot. 28 years, that's a lot. According to them, every time the discussion of marriage came up, they always pushed it away, since they were already together. The interesting part is that they only got married in 2020, during the pandemic, because their accountant proposed marriage to them. The couple share 2 daughters, Ty and Imani. In high school, Don Cheadle played saxophone in his jazz band and sang in a choir. He was active in the theater department and performed in musicals, plays, and mime shows. As expected, his newfound love for music helped him develop a passion for being in the performing arts. When he finished high school, he decided his passion for arts would end with his jazz band. He moved to the California Institute of Arts and graduated with a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Theater in 1986. Soon, Don turned this passion into a million-making machine. He has played many big roles that paid out some sweet cash. Although he started small, he never lacked roles and wasn't exactly broke. Since 1985, Cheadle has been working tirelessly in television, films, and theater. However, his breakout role that brought him the first significant payout was Devil in a Blue Dress. This was his first big role, and it remains one of his most loved characters. The movie, based on a Walter Mosley novel, starred Denzel Washington as Easy Rawlins, a detective investigating a murder in the heart of LA's black community. Cheadle played Mouse, a character who was as violent as unpredictable. His portrayal of Mouse was so powerful and darkly humorous that he almost stole the show from Denzel Washington, which is no small feat. Critics loved his performance, calling it scary and funny, though Cheadle didn't set out to make people laugh. Interestingly, Cheadle almost didn't get the part. Director Carl Franklin didn't think Cheadle was right for the role of Mouse, believing he was too young to play a contemporary of Washington. But after an accidental meeting at a doctor's office, Cheadle got another chance, and his chemistry with Washington sealed the deal. Cheadle did plenty of research, even traveling to Houston to learn more about the kind of gangsters from that era. He found that back in the 1940s, gangsters had a strong sense of community and honor, something that had been lost by the time of the crack epidemic. His role in Devil in a Blue Dress marked a huge step in Cheadle's career. It even won him a nomination for the Best Supporting Actor Award by the Screen Actors Guild and the NAACP Image. While this was his first big payout, another movie that caught his attention was his role at Hotel Rwanda. He played the role of Paul Rusesabagina, a hotel manager who risked everything to shelter refugees during the 1994 Rwandan genocide. Cheadle delivered one of the most powerful performances of his career in this movie, so it's no wonder this made him a big shot. However, Don claims he got paid little for the movie and faced serious financial challenges. Cheadle's performance earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor. To this day, Hotel Rwanda remains one of his most critically acclaimed films. It is a story that needed to be told, and Don Cheadle ensured the world listened. These big roles created the foundation for his growth in the industry. Soon, everyone knew him for his diverse roles. Don Cheadle is an actor who could play any role you can imagine. Just name it. While the industry sees a lot of typecast, Don's versatility earned him many roles. His biggest role so far was with Marvel. Cheadle's financial standing skyrocketed when he entered the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, as Colonel James Rhodes Rhodes, aka War Machine. Don Cheadle's role in Marvel is one of his biggest. Talking about Cheadle without mentioning Marvel would be a terrible mistake. Don's character in Marvel is many fans' all-time favorite. He did not just step into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but flew in with style. If you had followed Marvel's superhero creations from the beginning, you would have known that Don wasn't in the picture from the start. Terrence Howard had played Rhodes in Iron Man 1 and was the highest-paid star, earning as much as $3.5 million. He was earning more than Iron Man, played by Robert Downey Jr., who got $500,000. But by Iron Man 2, MCU was offering Howard just $40,000 per film, about 1/8 of his pay, while increasing Downey's pay to about $10 million. This was quite ridiculous, especially because Howard was the one who brought Downey in, so he quit. Don Cheadle accepted the role of War Machine, and the rest is history. Don has amassed a net worth of around $40 million through his years working with MCU. He reportedly earns about $6 to $7 million per film. But his million-dollar net worth is not just about blockbuster movies. Don Cheadle has made money through other investments. He also made an investment in real estate that earned a huge turnover. Don owned a home in Los Angeles, a contemporary beauty wrapped in rust-colored Corten steel. But it wasn't just an investment. It was a passion project, completely transformed by his wife, designer Bridget Coulter. It was originally a modest home, but Cheadle and Coulter took it to another level, tripling its size to a stylish 2,400-square-foot sanctuary. Walking through the gated courtyard, guests are greeted with a nautical-inspired design, radiant heated floors, soaring ceilings, and an open-plan layout, perfect for both relaxation and entertaining. The master suite? More like a private getaway featuring its own sitting room. And if that wasn't enough, a rooftop deck and a cozy outdoor living space made sure there was no shortage of fresh air hangouts. Even the garage got an upgrade, doubling as an art studio. The home was built in 2014 and comes with 12 bedrooms, 20 bathrooms, a skate park, a movie theater, and a grotto. Cheadle and Coulter had picked up the property for a cool $894,000. But when they decided to list it 2 years later, the price tag had jumped to a jaw-dropping $2.45 million. That's a serious appreciation in value. With Rhonda Payne of Rhodey Realty and James Coulter of Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage handling the listing, and Beatrice DeYoung of OL Realty representing the buyer, the deal was in good hands. Besides real estate, he also earns a fair share of his income through partnership deals and endorsements. Of course, it's no surprise that people will want the slick War Machine advertising their products. One interesting partnership is with Popcorners. He starred in a speakeasy-themed ad that swaps illegal booze for the dangerously addictive popcorn snacks. The concept is that the snacks are so good that they should be banned from the law. Now, here's the twist. Cheadle isn't even a big snacker. In fact, he admits he's pretty disciplined about his diet, always staying 5 to 6 weeks away from Avengers shape, just in case Marvel comes calling. But something about Popcorners caught his attention. Maybe it was the white cheddar flavor, his favorite, or perhaps it was the fact that they offer a healthier, non-fried alternative. Either way, the partnership made sense, and Cheadle, known for his sharp wit and smooth delivery, brings effortless cool to the campaign. Another of Don's big partnerships is with the Super Bowl, where he's done several commercials. Don Cheadle and the Super Bowl go way back. Over the years, he's popped up in multiple ads, bringing his signature cool factor to the biggest night in sports. Whether it was early 2000s NFL promos, a mysterious llama cameo, or a clever play on celebrity lookalikes, Cheadle has kept things interesting. His Super Bowl journey started in the early 2000s when he appeared in NFL commercials hyping up the big game. One of the standout ads, Crazy, wasn't just your average football promo. It was so well done that it even won a Cannes Silver Lion Award. It's not a bad way to kick off his Super Bowl commercial career. Fast forward to 2014, and things got weird. Cheadle showed up in a Super Bowl ad with a llama. Yes, a llama. The details on the brand are a little fuzzy, but one thing's for sure. It was one of those unexpected offbeat moments that left people talking. Then came 2015 when he starred in the NFL's cheer commercial. This one was all about celebrating football fans and their wild, passionate energy. It was a feel-good ad, and Cheadle brought the right mix of sincerity and charisma to make it work. But his most famous Super Bowl ad? That would be 2021's Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer commercial. This one was genius. It played on the idea of what's real versus what's fake by filling the screen with celebrity lookalikes. Fake Serena Williams, fake Usher, fake Megan Fox. And just when you thought Cheadle was the real Don in the ad, turns out his own brother, Colonel Cheadle, was posing as him. The ad leaned into humor and surprise, but at its core, it tied back to the brand's message. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer is the real deal, not some artificial knockoff. But that's not all to his millionaire life. Don Cheadle is also a businessman. He has started some ventures that bring him some cool cash for the movie star. He created a production company, Radical Act, in 2024. His production company isn't just about making movies and TV shows. It's about shaking things up. He's using storytelling as a weapon, tackling societal issues, pushing for justice, and proving that entertainment can be both meaningful and money-making. Partnering with industrial media, Radical Act is producing content that educates, inspires, and of course, keeps the cash flowing. And then there's Amari and the Knight Brothers, his latest project with Universal Pictures, because why not add another layer of success to his growing empire? Then there's Genexa, where Cheadle is putting his money behind a different kind of revolution, clean medicine. While most of Hollywood is launching tequila brands, Cheadle decided to invest in over-the-counter drugs without artificial junk. It's a move that's both health-conscious and profit-smart, proving that even in the world of medicine, he knows how to pick a winner. If you think his influence stopped in film and business, think again. Cheadle is also a published author, co-writing Not on Our Watch with John Prendergast. This isn't just any book. It's a deep dive into genocide awareness, focusing on Darfur and offering real solutions. And because philanthropy is just part of his DNA, proceeds go toward the Enough Project, proving that making money and making a difference can go hand in hand. And then there's the speaking circuit, because when you're as accomplished as Don Cheadle, people pay big bucks to hear what you have to say. Whether it's film festivals, university lectures, or global conferences, Cheadle is using his voice to talk about everything from the power of storytelling to climate change and social justice. He's not just giving speeches, he's shaping conversation beyond the silver screen. Now we know just how he makes so much money. You must be wondering where all of it goes to. For starters, maintaining a celebrity life requires a lot of money. And by a lot, I mean so much money. These celebrities scream wealth, from clothes to shoes and rides, and Don is no different. He mostly wears nice suits and jackets, and he likes leather and French-style dresses. But one thing Don absolutely dotes on, and you will never catch him without his watches on a regular day. Don Cheadle doesn't just wear watches, he lives for them. His love affair with timepieces started way back in Denver when he lost his birthday Timex in the snow, only to find it months later, still ticking, although barely. That little watch may not have survived, but the obsession it sparked? Oh, that one never faded. Fast forward to his Hollywood years, Cheadle's taste in watches has evolved from sentimental to straight-up luxurious. A chance encounter at a photo shoot introduced him to Maurice Lacroix, and just like that, he was hooked. He didn't just collect their masterpiece flyback annuaire Globe chronograph, and Pontos PT 7538. He made sure his Ocean's 12 co-stars got a piece of the action, too. And just in case there was any doubt about his pecking order, Casey Affleck got his first. Then came Audemar's Piguet, and this is where things got serious. A casual green room conversation at the 2011 Tony Awards turned into a full-on partnership. When prepping for House of Lies, Cheadle went straight to AP with a bold pitch. Marty Kahn doesn't wear anything off the rack. And Audemar's got the message loud and clear. Not only did they lend him their finest pieces, but they also ended up gifting him some. That's how he landed a $36,000 Royal Oak Time Power Reserve in rose gold and a $42,000 Jules Audemars in white gold. Just perks of playing a high roller. But no matter how many luxury pieces he adds to his collection, there's one that holds a special place in his heart. A Patek Philippe Nautilus. Designed by the legendary Gerald Genta, the same guy behind the AP Royal Oak, this stainless steel beauty wasn't just another buy. It was a gift from his wife, who was then his longtime partner. It may have been the spontaneity that came with the gift that made it his absolute favorite. No birthday, no anniversary, no special occasion, just a spontaneous, you deserve a watch right now moment. For Cheadle, watches are more than just accessories. They're craftsmanship, history, and a little piece of personality wrapped around the wrist. He values Swiss chronographs for their precision and artistry, and if you ever catch him without one, he'll probably tell you he feels naked. We can't talk about luxury without mentioning cars. So, what does Don Cheadle's car collection look like? Don Cheadle may be best known as War Machine in the Avengers, but when it comes to his personal taste in cars, he's all about old-school luxury and performance. His collection isn't filled with futuristic supercars or overly flashy hypercars. Instead, it showcases a refined appreciation for classic European automobiles, machines with history, craftsmanship, and undeniable presence. One of the standouts in his collection is the Mercedes-Benz 560 SL, a car that defined effortless cruising in the late 80s. Powered by a 5.6-liter naturally aspirated V8, this classic roadster produces 227 horsepower and 287 pound-feet of torque, making it the perfect blend of power and grace. The 4-speed automatic transmission ensures a smooth ride, while its top speed of 130 miles per hour makes it more than just a pretty face. Designed for long highway drives with the top down, the 560 SL remains one of the most sought-after classic Mercedes-Benz models. Even today, the SL lineup continues with high-performance AMG versions, but there's something special about the original, a car that doesn't need modern gimmicks to turn heads. Cheadle's choice to own one speaks to his appreciation for well-built, understated luxury. And with a price tag of around $18,500 for a well-kept model, it remains an accessible entry into the world of classic cars. If the Mercedes-Benz 560 SL is about relaxed sophistication, the Jaguar XJ12 brings a different kind of presence, one that commands respect with its long, sleek silhouette and imposing chrome grille. A proper British luxury sedan, the XJ12 was Jaguar's flagship at the time, competing with the likes of the BMW 7 Series, Mercedes-Benz S-Class, and Audi A8. But what sets it apart is what's under the hood, a 5.3-liter V12 engine producing 295 horsepower and 319 lb-ft of torque. That might not make it a race car, but this Jaguar was never about speed. With a 0 to 60 mile-per-hour time of 8.4 seconds and a top speed of 143 miles per hour, it prioritized smooth, commanding performance over outright aggression. The XJ12, which originally sold for $21,200, is the kind of car you imagine rolling up in at a high-end event, exuding class and confidence. It's no surprise that Don Cheadle, who often plays characters with a quiet but commanding presence, has one in his collection. The true crown jewel of Cheadle's garage, however, is the Jaguar E-Type convertible, a car that's more than just a classic. It's a legend. Even Enzo Ferrari, the man behind some of the world's most stunning supercars, called the E-Type the most beautiful car ever made. And it's easy to see why. With its long, curvaceous body, round headlights, and impossibly sleek stance, the E-Type is automotive art. But it's not just about looks. This Jaguar packs serious performance thanks to its 4.2-liter inline-six engine producing 265 horsepower and 283 pound-feet of torque. Capable of reaching 150 miles per hour with a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of 7.0 seconds, the E-Type wasn't just a pretty face, it was one of the fastest production cars of its time. Cheadle's decision to own one, which is valued at around $160,000 today, shows his taste for cars that aren't just valuable, but historically significant. Another thing Don is big on is taking care of his health, and you can easily see the reward in how young he looks. He still seems so fresh and active that Kevin Hart couldn't help but shout, "Damn!" when Don revealed his age. So when he is not playing a role in War Machine or filming a new mind-blowing movie, he stays active and ensures he is taking care of his health. Luckily for those of us curious about Don's health habits, he opened up about his fitness habits and what helps him manage inflammation, something he deals with often. Whether it is hitting the gym, going for a walk, or lifting weights, Cheadle always makes sure to keep his body moving. And guess what? He says if he skips a workout, he feels it, just like you feel uneasy when you skip a meal. But here's the twist. He is also really into cold plunging. Yeah, you heard that right. Cheadle first tried cold plunging at a facility in Hawaii and became a fan immediately. After a round of golf or any intense activity, he jumps into a cold plunge to help with his back pain and inflammation. He loves the contrast therapy of switching between hot and cold, and it's clearly become one of his favorite ways to recover. However, Cheadle does not just use the gym or cold water to stay healthy. He has a few other staying healthy tricks up his sleeve. One of them is his diet. He tries to eat as healthy as possible, avoiding processed foods and trans fats. In line with his ambition to stay healthy, Don Cheadle spends quite a lot on checkups. But of course, health is wealth, so why not? He does regular checkups and blood work and focuses on his personal health needs. Don suggests talking to a nutritionist or doing independent research for people looking to improve their diet. He believes eating well is not just about avoiding junk food, but also about being active and paying attention to one's feelings. Talking about golf, for Don Cheadle, golf isn't just a hobby, it's an obsession, a challenge, and even a way to give back. His love for the sport started in childhood, tagging along with his cousin to the course, but it wasn't until his 20s, when HBO sponsored a Pro-Am tournament in Nevis, that he really took it seriously. A free trip to the Caribbean? He was all in. He brought his dad, started taking lessons, and hasn't looked back since. These days, Cheadle plays about 50 rounds a year, sporting a 7.6 USGA handicap index that, in his words, should be lower. He has moments of brilliance, shooting in the 70s, but just as often, he finds himself frustrated when his game doesn't all click at once. One day, it's his putting, the next, his swing, and sometimes it's just picking the right club. It frustrates the hell out of me, he admits. That doesn't stop him from competing, though. Cheadle is a regular at celebrity pro-ams, where he thrives on the mix of competition and camaraderie. These events, often tied to charities, bring together familiar faces, some serious golf, and, let's be honest, a whole lot of trash talk. Some will pretend they don't take it seriously, but let me tell you, everyone does. But beyond his personal game, Cheadle is using his platform to make golf more accessible and sustainable. He recently partnered with the USGA to promote public courses and increase the sport's impact on communities. His role as a U.S. Open brand ambassador lets him showcase what makes the championship so special while supporting efforts to grow the game at the grassroots level. Of course, his own golf moments are already legendary, like the time he hit a hole-in-one in front of a 1,000-person crowd with his wife and kids watching. That's going to be tough to beat, he says. And even when Don's struggling, he keeps things light. Don once used to mark his golf balls with L True as a reminder to shorten his backswing, proving that, like most golfers, he's always looking for that one key adjustment. For Cheadle, the most rewarding part of golf isn't just the scores, it's the mental discipline. The best thing about the game is learning to be completely in the moment, not getting ahead of yourself, not dwelling on mistakes, just staying focused. It's a lesson that applies to the course, in acting, and in life. Traveling is another thing Don Cheadle enjoys doing. He often travels from place to place with his family, which is a big part of his bonding with them. But Don is not only about self and family. He's heavy on giving back to his community and the world through philanthropy and activism. Don Cheadle has always been someone who would not watch someone in need pass by him without lending a hand. He has also always been a fighter for what is right. His passion for helping others goes way past his superhero characters. Whether tackling the climate crisis or pushing for racial justice, Don always tries to make the world better for everyone. Don Cheadle has always been involved in environmental issues. He is not just talking about saving the planet, but actively working towards it. He has been part of several projects, including producing a documentary series called Years of Living Dangerously with Harrison Ford. The documentary focuses on climate justice. Don has also made active moves to help the environment. He is on the board of the Solutions Project. This nonprofit organization funds clean energy solutions and is also on the advisory board for the Citizens Climate Lobby, which pushes for policy change around climate action. But Don's philanthropy goes beyond joining projects. He is also involved in global human rights causes. He was recognized with George Clooney for their efforts in Darfur, where they worked effortlessly to shine a light on the ongoing genocide. It would also interest you to know that Don adds writing to his multi-talent. He co-authored a book about Darfur, urging people to get involved and make a difference. Imagine a book in circulation telling every reader to help the country in the best way they can. That is how much work Don has put into raising awareness of some of the world's most pressing issues. He has helped refugees, worked tirelessly to fight hunger, and supported the children in need. He has also been involved with organizations like After School All-Stars, UNICEF, and the World Food Program, to name just a few. It is safe to say he deserves the name of the United Nations Goodwill Ambassador Environment Program. One sweet thing about Don is his willingness to be the voice for those who often don't have one. When it comes to race, Don has spoken a lot about the importance of making real change, especially in light of the deaths of Black Americans at the hands of police. In a virtual discussion on race, he talked about how important it is to keep the momentum going after the protests, encouraging people to vote and get involved in politics. It is not going to happen if we rest, he said. He is encouraging people to do more than just speak out and walk their talks. Don has also been involved with organizations like After School All-Stars, UNICEF, and the World Food Program, and these are just a few of the organizations he worked with to bring smiles to the needy. It is quite obvious that Don has dedicated a good amount of his time and energy to helping those in need. Whether tackling diseases like cancer and HIV or supporting programs for underprivileged youth, Don has always found a way to make a difference. It should also interest you that Don's fight for rights doesn't end with the UN and UNICEF. He also speaks out for the transgender community. While hosting Saturday Night Live, he didn't need a dramatic monologue or a viral skit to make a statement. Instead, he let his t-shirt do the talking, introducing musical guest Gary Clark Jr. Cheadle casually stepped on stage wearing a black shirt with a simple but powerful message: protect trans kids. There was no speech, no extra commentary, just a quiet but undeniable act of solidarity. And that was enough. In seconds, the internet lit up with praise. Advocacy groups like the Human Rights Campaign and the National Center for Transgender Equality hailed him as a true ally. Trans activist Monica Nemeth personally thanked him, emphasizing how much representation like this matters in a world where trans youth face alarming rates of violence and discrimination. But Cheadle was not done. At the show's end, he made another bold fashion statement, wearing a Soviet Union hockey jersey with the name Trump and the number 45 on the back. The message was loud and clear. With no words and just a few wardrobe choices, Don Cheadle proved that sometimes the most powerful statements don't need a script, they just need the right moment.